How we doing? Back with EC Fight Takes. It's been a while, right? Right now I'm just kind of covering the numbered events. At some point I would like to get into at least the more interesting fight nights. I watch every card literally, so I don't know. Sometimes just a lot to try and make a YouTube video with work and all that what I got going on. But nevertheless, been getting into a little betting too. I don't bet a ton of money, but makes it a little more fun. And I'm not going to reveal the betting platform I use because I have no affiliation. But if any sponsors do come in the future, that would be wonderful. Now let's get into it. Starting with the opening fight of Makhachev versus Jeremiah Wells. Jeremiah Wells being the Philly native. I think Orablay's taking it though. I don't even know why he's the opener on the card. He wins. He's a pretty good fighter. I just think he's going to take it. I don't really know much about Jeremiah Wells. He doesn't have a bad record or anything, but I just really believe Orablay's the better fighter there, and he's a guy that's hard to beat. I think he's going to get a KO, if I'm being honest. Next, we have Neil Magny versus Ramiz Brahimaj. I'm going with Neil Magny, the OG. He's just been in the game for a while, knows how to survive and win hard fights, and he gets better as the fight goes on, so I think he's going to win a 29-28 decision. Next, we have Rafael Tobias versus Lucas Fernando. If I'm not mistaken, Fernando's making his UFC debut. I'm going with him to take this one. I really don't know much about either one of these fighters, but expecting a good scrap. Good records for both of them, and like I said, Fernando's making his debut, so I kind of expect him to be putting on a show. Next, we have Vicente Luque versus Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore has a terrible record, 7-4 if I'm not mistaken. But Vicente Luque is an old dog. He won against Kelvin Gastelum, who at this point that's just not that impressive of a win. I think Tresean Gore is going to win this one. I'm not sure. I'm kind of 50-50 on if I think he's going to get a knockout finish or if I think he's just going to win a decision. But I'm rolling with Tresean Gore here. Still remember him from The Ultimate Fighter, but he is not really that remarkable. It's actually kind of crazy he's in the UFC, but good for him. I think we're going with him there. Next, we got Dante Johnson and Eric Makhachev. I like Eric Makhachev, but I'm going with Dante Johnson. Undefeated, 8-0. I think he's probably going to get a finish in this one if I had to guess. Just young prospect on his way up. Next, we have Charles Johnson versus Eduardo Chapelin. And if I'm not mistaken, Eduardo is Daniel Cormier's pupil, who lives with him or lives at his fighting academy or whatever. I it's a feel good story and all. And then Charles Johnson's just so shaky. Like at times he's super impressive, but then other times he loses ones that you think he's going to take, and he's kind of a little longer in the tooth. I'm going to go with DC's guy here, but I really don't feel even that good about that pick. All right, moving on, we got Joel Alvarez versus Chidi Njokuani. This one's a little tough. I like Njokuani a lot, and mind you, I don't know the betting favorites at all. I've not put in any bets yet. I'm going to do that right after this. This is just off the feel, what I've been kind of hearing throughout the week, and ultimately my conclusions that I've come to on my own. But I'm going with Joel Alvarez here. He was on a tear before. I think he took an L in his last fight. He's stepping in. Not sure if it's short notice, but he's a very impressive striker. Long. Njokuani's a little older, a little inconsistent also. I'm going to go with Alvarez there. Next up, Edson Barboza versus Esteban Ribovic. I'm going with Ribovic. If Barboza was 5 to 6 years younger, I would pick him all day. Barboza, it's amazing he's even still fighting. He's a very good fighter. But at this point, and his physique would have you believe this dude can take it. But I think Ribovic's going to end up piecing him up, kind of taking him to the woodshed, and I see a second or third round finish for Ribovic here. Um, Next up, we got Mansur Abdul Malik versus Dustin Stoltzfus. I'm going with Mansur. Knockout. Very impressive kickboxer. If I'm not mistaken, he trains with Alex Pereira's team. Um, Stoltzfus, not that he's bad or anything, I just don't really believe he's better than Mansur Abdul Malik. I don't know if Mansur is like a future champion or anything like that, but very good fighter, still on his way up. Um, Next, Jalen Turner versus Coway Fernandez. Now, I was talking with my boy about this one, and Jalen Turner's record is 15-9, but two of those are split decision losses, and in his more recent losses, and then the Hanato Moicano fight. Not that it was a fluke. I'm a huge Moicano fan, and I was super hyped when he won that fight. But Jalen Turner tried to have a walk-off KO in that fight. Like if he doesn't walk off and he follows up with those shots, he wins. If one or both of those split decisions go his way, then all of a sudden he's 17-7, 18-6. That record looks a lot different. I think Jalen Turner is going to take this one. Coway Fernandez, solid fighter, but I'm going with Jalen here. Next up, co-main event, we got Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. This one is one I've been struggling with all week until I heard the stat that I think it's Jillian Robertson's last 4 opponents, maybe even 5, but I want to say it's 4, are all 0-19 in their most recent bouts collectively. 0-19. She's just been beating losers. And I really don't know her claim to like having a title shot. I haven't heard anyone mention like a long winning streak. I think women's MMA is just so thin. She was kind of just the next in line that is coming off a win, or win or two. So I'm thinking Mackenzie Dern here. I'm kind of leaning towards a decision. I don't really see a finish. There's not many finishes in women's MMA, and we just had 2 a week or 2 ago, or I think it was 2 weeks ago. We had 2 early on, so I'm gonna go with Mackenzie Dern by decision there. Probably like a 49-46 if I had to guess. Now for the main event of Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry, dude, like there's been times I really felt Ian Gary's gonna take this one. He's gonna stay at range. He's gonna pick him Islam apart. There's also a chance of a fluke head kick there, but I'm going with Islam. I just don't think Islam is going to let someone with the beliefs that Ian Gary has beat him. Uh, and then beyond that, he's ultimately skilled. He's an elite, historically elite fighter, not just a historically elite grappler. Overall, complete fighter. His striking is underrated. I think he will submit Gary later rounds, maybe 3rd or 4th round. He's going to submit Ian Gary. I think for the most part, he's ragdolling him. He's taking him to town. Ian Gary, after this one, probably still going to be delusionally confident, somehow try to rationalize how he didn't lose and how he's still going to be a champion in the future. But if Ian Gary wins, man, this world is something's off. But even if he wins, I kind of think Islam will get an immediate rematch. So we'll see how it goes. But I got Islam 3rd or 4th round finish. Those are my picks for UFC 330. I'll be posting shorts, at least to either some of the fights as a collective, like maybe 3 or 4 of them will go by, and I'll kind of post a short to recap what we're seeing. And then as the bigger fights come on, I'll kind of post a reaction to each one as they finish up. So appreciate all the people who have subscribed. Let's keep it rolling. And, go Islam.